All right, Shalom, Shalom. We the brothers from the GMS Cleveland branch coming once more through the spirit and power through Yahweh Bashim Abishai. And before we get started, as always, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, and Kakradash. That'll be the correct names of the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, who the ignorant part of Jesus Christ. Want to give double honors to the head apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well and sound doctrine. Want to say double honors, peace and salutation to the whole select. All right, back with another lesson through the spirit and power through Yahweh Shemel Shah. The title of this lesson is The Hour of Temptation, all right, which, is going to come upon all the world, right, through that small technology with the sea hip, right? But, there was things that happened in the ancient time where, our people was forced to go into captivity and serve these other rulers of different kingdoms, right? And right now we in the kingdom of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right? Because the earth was given unto his hands, all right, and that blessing was going back to Genesis, the 27th chapter, where Esau will have the fatness and the dew of heaven, all right, and he was going to rule it with a sword, and he took peace from the earth, all right, but at the end of the day, the Lord is about to make his second return, all right, and cast this devil down from off the authority of ruling, man, all right, because he have destroyed everything that the Lord created that was good already. But without further ado, we're gonna get that what's that second, no, to get the Corinthians, Romans 15:3, because things that was written aforetime was written for our learning. You got it.
All right, now this is the book of Romans, chapter 15, and verse 3. It says, "For even Yahweh shall please not himself, but as it is written, the reproaches of them that reproach thee fell upon me."
Is that Romans 15 and verse 4?
Verse 4.
Yeah.
He said,
Okay. Yeah.
it says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope."
That's why we seek those old paths. That's why we read the accounts of Noah, Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, those accounts were times where your faith was being tested. All right, that you had to pretty much be put in situations where the Lord, all right, had you in. Okay, and thinking about the story of Daniel, all right, where the three holy children was basically put into the furnace of fire, right? Because they didn't worship Nebuchadnezzar and his image, all right. And we're coming to some times right now where the same thing is going on today, where we're gonna have the mass majority of the people are gonna have to worship the image of the beast, all right, which is Esau, Edom, pseudoscience, his belief, and everything that goes on in this kingdom, right? And that time when Nebuchadnezzar told Meshach and Abednego to bow down to the image, they didn't do it because they believed in Yahweh Shah all the way until the end, right? And in that same story, all right, the same thing that was written aforetime was written for our learning, because the same shit about to happen again, with this devil about to come down with great wrath and force his new world order amongst but vast majority of the people, all right, because this whole idea is to rule the earth, man. Okay, but it's always been men of the Lord who never bow down to these other gods, man. All right, that's one of the commandments that the Lord said, you should not have another God before me, man. All right,
I got some.
you got it.
This Revelations 13 and 15. And he had power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So there we go, man. Like brother said, this beast system, it's gonna get to the point where you either with it or X'd out society, man. Where don't want you to be alive anymore if you're not bowing down to the system. It's the main way make this time greater than the other time periods is what they systems is the technology, man. That's what that's how he gave life to the beast by the way of enforcing his technology, man, which that tiny tank is gonna be ran off of. It's gonna be ran off technology, man.
Mhm.
Nah, I
Yeah,
got.
you go ahead. You got something, and just get that account.
Well,
No, if you got
first on the count.
all right, yeah, go to the straight to the account.
This the book of Daniel, chapter 3, and I'll start at verse 19. It says, "Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego."
And the reason why he was upset is because they didn't worship. Everybody else bowed down, all right, to the coronet, to the saplet, and
Right.
all the other instruments that they was playing, because it was a thing where Nebuchadnezzar made our people and everybody else that was in that kingdom to bow down and worship the image. All right, you got it.
Therefore he spake and commanded that they should be that they should heat the furnace once 7 times more than it was wont to be heat.
So Nebuchadnezzar turned up. You know, he seen that the holy children wasn't going to bow down to the image. So he had his guards, his men, to go turn up the furnace 7 times more than it initially was. And 7 represents completion. So that motherfucker was hot as hell. And also his spirit was hot, right? You got it.
And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning furnace.
You see that? And he got his mighty men.
Yeah, his elite.
His elite men. Right.
Yeah.
You got it.
It says to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning furnace. Then these men were bound in their hosen and their hats and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
And this is the faith that all of us should have, man. All right? Giving up everything for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You got to remember what the Lord sacrificed and what he did for us, man. And all of these accounts, all right, are accounts to build your faith, all right, in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because at the end of this story, all right, this account, you're going to see that they was delivered. And it was all through their faith, all right? And you had vast majority of the people, they bowed down because they was afraid of Nebuchadnezzar and what he was going to do unto them, all right? But these men was going to get put in a furnace that was fucking turned up to the max. And they didn't get discouraged. They didn't get scared. They wasn't acting like no whole ass niggas, man. You know, it was all off faith. And you got it. You want to say something?
They didn't fear Nebuchadnezzar fury. They feared the Lord fury. That's why the Lord. I'm gonna keep reading.
Because the scripture that kill the body. Yep. And the other, it says don't fear him that can kill the body and the soul, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they happen to put to death, raised up first, man.
That's right.
And that's the spirit, that's the account, that's the things that you need to know, all right, when you enter into this, man. Because it's not all love. You got weak ass individuals. Block here, we had technical difficulties. All right, just like the brother was mentioning that, you know, it's going to get way worse in the time we coming in when Nebuchadnezzar turned up the furnace 7 times more hotter than it initially was. All right, and the Lord coming with thermonuclear fire this time, man. All right, to purge out the rebels, the disobedient men amongst Israel. All right, you women too, you know, and you children. No one escapes, man. But this is the faith that we all need to have at the time that's coming in, man. All right, because we all gonna be tried, man. You got it.
Verse 21. Daniel chapter 3, verse 21. Then these men were binding their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Mhm.
Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men
Mhm.
that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Right. So you see that, you know, he that dig of a pit shall fall therein, man. You have men working against the men of the Lord, and the Lord went with that shit. So whoever joined hand to hand with these devils, or I'm talking about Esau, Edom, and whoever these heathen nations is, y'all all gonna get put to death, trying to, you know, help forward the affliction of the children of Israel, man.
Because it goes to show that even the kings got to bow down to the Lord, because he made a sacrifice just putting Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego in the furnace. He said his top men, his elite forces, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how you got the elites, they got their elite military. His elite military died just trying to put the Lord's men in the furnace, man. And I'm gonna keep reading.
Right.
It says, therefore, because the king's commandment, verse 23. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning furnace fires, because, like it said they were bound in their coats, so they probably had some type of strap upon them so that they couldn't move or something. It just said that they was bound in their coats.
Mm.
So it says, then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished, meaning astonished, and rose up in haste and spake and said unto the counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the furnace of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. It says,
so Nebuchadnezzar was bugging out. He like, God damn, man. I know for sure I said turn this bitch up 7 times more hotter than what it was. You mean to tell me the men that my men that I sent up there, they dead, burnt up, and these men still good?
Damn. It says, he answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire.
Hold on, I thought it was only 3 men. Who is this 4th one you talking about?
And they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like unto the son of Yahweh.
There you go, the Son of Man. All right, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. And that's what they had, man. The faith of the Lord. They had the names. All right, which took them, all right, even further, and you know, in this walk, man. You know.
That was on that verse.
Was that it? Or?
That was the last.
Okay.
I got some. This James 5:10 goes on with this. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord for example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. You know, so we take these men before us, example, man, to follow after, man. When we in situations, man, you know, because the Lord, scriptures also say that the Lord will not put you under something that you're not able, man. So whatever you're going through, the Lord know that you can handle that. But it say, verse 11, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy. So there it go, man. The Lord's gonna show mercy to his select, man. You know, that's who he's dealing with. He's not dealing with Pookie and Ray Ray and Brad and Keisha and all these other people, man. He's dealing with his elect, man. You know, and he gonna try his elect and deliver his elect out of all tribulations, out of all temptations, man. You know, so yeah, Lord, wonders is edifying. With that, we'll close out. Give all praise and the glory to
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash.
the honest apostle Ellis Ray Millstone, who will. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom, and come Yeshua.
Shalom, Kamashrala.